I've been thinking about this for a while, but the position of our dock, our wharf, is not a typical one because it's inland. That's not to say that docks and ports aren't inland. There are definitely examples of some that are, but it's not the most practical because you need giant maritime ships to come inland, which is quite difficult. And also, currently there's no way for these ships to get in here. So what we need to do is make space. I could mine it all out, but I don't want to do that. So let's use this. That's such a ludicrous amount of TNT. I think we went through about 2.5 shulker boxes of TNT, and we're just going to clear out all of these sections. Let's blow it up. So I may have a bit of cleaning up to do, but this has definitely helped in clearing out the space where I want this new river to run through. You can see the river's going to come all the way through here now, and all the way through here. We've still got to blow up this island here, but I went through a crazy amount of TNT just for this, so we'll put that on pause for a second while I clean this out. Two whole shulker boxes of TNT, and it still couldn't finish the job. I had to whip out the beacons. I even brought out another one because I had to flatten all this out. It needed tidying up, and so with the power of beacons and some conduits, we managed to flatten it out. Let's find my rockets. But now this is looking more like a river that a ship could actually dock in, which is good. We might need to remove this bit here. Anyway, moving on to the next project, I've decided I want to have this land out here be fully automated produce farming. Yeah, all the way out to the hills, kind of by that tree over there, this tree over here. So we're going to have these little kind of greenhouse looking buildings. Well, they're not little, they're actually quite big, and they're just going to focus on one produce, and it's going to be auto farmed and auto packaged and auto shipped off into our storage system over there. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because we need a type of wood to build chests and barrels and eventually craft into shulkers. Bamboo is the easiest wood to farm. You don't need crazy piston TNT explosions. You just need a flying machine to fly through this, and then some minecarts to collect it. So I've already gone ahead and plotted out the land, planted the bamboo, because that's all boring stuff that can be done off camera. But we also have the collection system down here. Now, some of you might recognize this, others might not. This is a system that deploys a minecart hopper, which will be sent down the line here and collect the items on top of it. In this case, it'd be bamboo. And then it comes back and up here, and then there's a little bit of redstone trickery going on. So this amethyst bud, or crystal, has a very specific hitbox for the minecart. Now, the minecart will come up here onto this mud block, and the mud block technically isn't a full block, so it'll drop down onto this rail instead of onto the slab. But there's also a cauldron with lava in it, which will break the minecart. And amethyst is here to line up the minecart perfectly so that the minecart doesn't burn in the lava, and it doesn't move forward too far that the hopper doesn't pick it up. And then we've got water here to push items through into what will be the collection channel that'll go along here in one of the directions that I've yet to decide. The glass is just here to stop the water from overflowing. So, I mean, we could try it out with, if I just dropped a whole bunch of blocks on top of this line. Let's go some here. Now this is one-wide tileable, so what we're going to do is we're going to put it across the whole thing. And we've implemented a little toggle for this so that we don't have hopper minecarts constantly loaded in, just to help the world lag a little bit. So when I flick this off, a minecart will deploy from the dispenser over here. Ta-da! And it's deployed onto this so that it has the right direction, and it goes out that way, and then it bounces back, comes across. You see the items are dropped, and they flow through here with the water into this area. And we'll have some water going in one of the directions to pick it up. Or package it, or send it on its way. That's that. And now I can turn it off if I power this note block again, which will stop it from deploying. So yeah, cauldron breaks it, comes into the hopper, and then it ends in this dropper. And we've got a detector rail here with an observer underneath it, so the detector rail will pick up the minecart moving over it, and the observer will pick up that pulse into this note block, into this. The observer will see the note block change from unpowered to powered, and then it will power the dropper, which will shoot it into here. And with the way that the dropper reacts, this also becomes powered, powering the dispenser, shooting it up onto this rail. And what this is we send a full redstone signal. It needs to be full, so we use a repeater into the note block, and that basically turns this into a constantly on. So even if this pulses, this observer isn't seeing any change because it's just always on. And if we turn it off, the observer will see that and shoot the minecart. So I'm going to go ahead and build this without shaders, sadly. We're going to complete the tiles. And it's going to look great. Alright, let's do it. I bet you thought, because I built an exterior, that the episode was finished. Nope, the project's not done yet. Sure, we've got our harvesting system and our collection system, but we still don't have our storage system. So I might actually end up tearing this face off again. That sounds bad. I might actually end up tearing this wall down so that I can build more comfortably. But right now, all our items are ending up here, and the water is going here. So I worked on some auto crafting components. You may recognize the shulker box loader. I think this is a bit overkill to have here in this farm. So what I might do is end up just building some railways, some automated rail tracks that go over to our storage system. But behind it, we've got an auto crafting system, which is crafting chests, I do believe. Yep. And we've already got quite a bit, but it's pretty simple. So we're going to go ahead and build one component. Okay, so crafter's going to go here, and observer is going to go here. And one here. So that's a constant pulse. And that's just going to keep powering and powering and powering this thing. And then this is going to go here, like so. And that's going to keep filling up with these things. Pretty neat. Now, this next one is also incredibly easy, but it requires 2 crafters. So let's just go like this, and like this, and then let's grab our hoppers again, like so. Pretty unique storage, this one, again, just temporary, but that should be firing both of them, and then we need this to be like so. Sweet. This one. Ooh boy. Now, this is a bit of a unique one in that it is 3 wide and 2 to 3-ish blocks deep. So maybe we could get away with doing like multiple. Yeah, that works. Put a crafter here. And a crafter here. And here. Cool. Hoppers. Into this one, and this one, like so. The reason I'm doing it this way, even though it's not the most efficient, is because I need to. And then these go in here, and then we're gonna have our little pulsey pulse thing with like that. Great, that's working. Now, we're actually gonna put a chest here, and then a hopper, then some crafters actually here, and then a hopper behind these. And that is because if we put this crafter where the chest is, it would also be firing on all cylinders every tick, basically. And we wouldn't be crafting chests, we'd be crafting pressure plates or buttons, which is not what we want. So we have to put it in the chest and then move it away from that pulse. And that is kind of as close as I can get it. We could probably just go straight into the hopper, but I don't want to. And then we're going to use our little, I need some redstone, little redstone tricks that we used for the shulker box loader. So we're going to go building blocks. I use these blocks so that whenever I'm digging around, if I am digging around here, I know not to mine these because they have redstone components on top of it. So we got this on subtract, and then we're going to do, I need to make some more crafters. We're going to put a not a comparator, a crafter here, and we're going to go boop, 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 boop. Actually, yeah, that's something I need to make sure I did over here. It can be whatever you want, really, so long as one slot is open and available. Like that. Comparator is looking at that and getting its signals so that when this is greater than this, it'll send a pulse, and we're gonna go... Ooh. Will that affect this? If this... Yes, it will. Okay, that is an unforeseen problem. Why don't we raise it up a little bit? Block on top, because we don't want it to soak. That's not going to power it. I'm going to move this over to this block here, so that it will not power this block. Because we're going to put a block here, 2 blocks here. This is going to be empty. Some redstone dust here. Again, let's do this, just to test. Oh, I forgot to put the redstone on the back of this one, yeah. Like that. So it didn't fire that one, which is good. So that was a problem that I had not thought of, and that is the fact that this module would affect the module next to it, so we've just had to raise it up by a block, basically. And moved the constant pulse observers back 1 block so that they're not powering this crafter as well. Because they'd be powering this, and by the Java magic of redstone, it would power adjacent blocks next to it, so this one and this one. We don't want this one powered. But this is the module here, so basically, we're doing the same thing as we've done over there. We're crafting logs, which then go into planks, which are shot into the chest. So we've got planks in the chest, and they come down into this crafter, which is the chest recipe. A comparator on subtraction mode is looking at the comparator, not the comparator, the crafter, and is also comparing the signal from this crafter. So when it fills up, see, not firing, it'll send a pulse into this, which will turn the torch off, which will turn this line off, which will turn this torch on, powering this crafter. So it shoots out a chest very reliably, 100% of the time. So we're going to do the same thing over here. It's just going to be raised up a little bit. So we got like this, and then like this. We're going to have block here, like so. This is going to be powering this. Ooh. Oh wait, that's not supposed to be there, is it? Haha. Great. And then redstone torch behind there. Comparator. And we're going to use a slab here, just because. You never know, it might be a little handy. Looking at this, that's right, that's in subtract. Great. This should be primed and ready. I put a block on top of this hopper because we don't want it sucking in any foreign objects. That's just a fail safe. Anyway, so that's another module complete, and then one more. Cool. This should be all primed and ready as well. If I get this, that's not great. So hopefully that shouldn't mess with it. Let's test it out, shall we? I'm just going to flick it on and see if all of the components are working. I haven't worked out how to do the barrel one yet. Flick it on. Away it goes. Let's come down to the collection, toggle, and flick this on. It's always satisfying to see it go. Beautiful. And it was relatively quickly picked up by all the hoppers, which is great, except for this area. I need to put chests in front of these guys. We crafted one there. Why is this constantly on? That is why. Just break that, put that there, and then put this here with these in there. Alright, that should be crafting away. Is this one okay? No, I made the same mistake. Alright, so let's take this out, put that in. Oh, not that. Put these back in. That should be working beautifully. This is producing chests. Yes, chest, yes. Yes. How have we got bamboo here? I might need to move the wall up. It is overflowing because it is only moving at hopper speed, which is a bit concerning. But it should slow down relatively quick. So long as it can handle the initial influx of items, because the bamboo is all growing up here. If it can handle that amount, it should be fine going forward, because bamboo probably won't grow fast enough to clog it up. This is filling up beautifully. This is filling up beautifully. Got planks in here, which is great. Haven't figured out how to do that yet, so that's probably the next task. Okay, so I caved. And I watched a tutorial for the barrels, and that is because it exceeded my redstone prowess, because to craft a barrel requires 2 types of items, whereas all of these have only required 1 type. The same with this. Just 1 type of item crafted at a time. For barrels, you need 2 items crafted at a time, and so I had to look up how to do that. And there are quite a few designs, and I think Razeworks one is probably the most reliable and safest. So I don't want to have to ever come in here again. We're going to bury all of this underground, so you never see it. We should never be coming out here, because I want it to be fully automatic. And so, for this to be safe, it requires stockpiling of the different items. So I can craft the slabs fine. That's kind of the same as this method over here. We're just, once this is filled with planks, it'll craft. And this is just crafting planks, which is easy. And they're both sent into hopper lines here, which go into this crafter, which crafts the barrels. But this one requires a stockpile of items so that we don't ever have the mistake of filling in one wrong item in a spot. If this hopper releases a signal strength of 15, which is when everything is filled up completely, it will compare it with the signal of the lever here, which is 14. So 15 greater than 14 will send a signal into this redstone torch and turn it off. But there's another redstone torch over here as well. And you need both of them to be turned off at the same time to turn off this redstone here. When this is turned off, it turns off here, unpowering the block, which doesn't craft the barrel. It is only when the redstone signal is turned on again, or when this number is depleted enough, that it will actually craft the item. So it's a lot slower. As you can see, we only have one barrel. Let's turn it on and see how fast it crafts compared to the other modules. Alright, there we go. Hoppers pick it all up, and we're filling up with planks. Nice. Now we need these. So these are full, yeah, and we should be getting some barrels. So this one is a lot slower, because that would have crafted maybe 2 or 3 at this point, where this is only crafted 2. So, but it's safe, and we can bury it, and it'll be good. So now that everything is crafting away, lovely, fine, we need to... This is the final bit of redstone, I promise. Anyway, we need to have a button, send a on or off pulse all the way through here, all the way down to the on-off switch down there. But first, let's cover up all this mess and build the front. I believe I can say with full confidence that this project is done. All in one episode. We've managed to build up our first greenhouse farm in the, I want to say the farming district. No, let's call it that. This is the farming district. We managed to complete our first build here. This is probably the only showcase of me building it that I'll do, because they're all the same. And inside it, we have our bamboo farm, which is providing us with infinite storage. This is part 1 of 2 for the foundations of our storage system. See here, I have done the on-off switch, so they fire both at the same time, kind of. Away they go. And it also fires our collection system, and that is done through observers. So an observer sees the change in this lever, and then all the other observers pick up those changes and sends it to a T flip-flop, which is done with a copper bulb and a comparator, and that powers the obsidian, which originally we had a lever doing. Now what I've also done is taken the signal of the powered state block here and sent it into a comparator. Let me get my crosshair up for you guys. So when this block is powered, the comparator picks it up and then sends that pulse all the way through that observer line out and down the side of the building here into this copper bulb, turning it off, and that is done so that it depowers the note blocks behind it, allowing the collection system to run. Don't worry if you don't get it, it can be a little confusing. Let me flick the power back on for these bulbs and it will stop everything. Flying machines have stopped. Collection system has stopped, and we can double check it. If we come down here, the light bulb is turned on. Now I've left a lever here just in case, I don't know how, but the system gets out of whack. You can just toggle it and it will change back. Let's go ahead and look at the underground. Not a very flashy interior, and that's because it is intended this way. I don't want anyone in these buildings. I want them fully automated. And so we've got our storage for our planks and our blocks and just regular bamboo. Oh. We've also got barrels down here. Again, very, very slow in the crafting. Chests over here. 3 of them. Yeah, all is running smoothly. We put a glass wall here to stop the items from flying out into this area and not getting collected. And we used blast furnaces along here to stop the slime from sticking to the glass and pulling it with it. And that's why we've used blast furnaces all along here as well. Pretty expensive, but I can afford it at this point. And we just put a little entrance here. I was originally designing this as a garage, but like a garage door. But it doesn't make sense because it's not being loaded in here. Plus, this is going to be a fully automated farming district that just runs straight to the storage system. Why would there be trucks here? So instead, we can put some branding along here, either with some banners or with some custom artwork. But for now, it's blank. That is this project done. Very, very happy with how it's turned out. I know it's not the most detailed build, but that's kind of the point. It's not supposed to draw attention, it's just supposed to be functional. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is all we have time for in today's episode, but we've done a lot. We've mined out this whole area, which is ridiculous. I can't even imagine how small the river was before all the work, but it's done. It took a lot of time, but it's so much better, I think, in my personal opinion. And we built part 1 of 2 in our foundations for building our storage system, which is great. Next episode, we'll be working on a shulker farm so we can get infinite shulker boxes, which will be great paired with this farm. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next episode.
Another day, another load of laundry. Soon as I woke up, that feeling was haunting me. Another dad with a hamper. I wonder if Chance the Rapper do his own laundry. Who cares? I scoop socks calmly from under chairs. Underwears is its own load and spin cycle. Towels too. How are you? I've been busy keeping this home together, you know. A family just growing together. The hovering center.